What's up, everybody? It is I, Sigma, and we are back with episode 15 of the BBET GamesCast. I am joined by Superman Jeff.
Bingo bongo, baby.
As well as returning co-host Blue.
It's your boy. What's going on, yo?
And if you missed them last week, and you missed all of us, rather, last week, let's call that Labor Day vacation.
Yeah.
Right, so we did take a week off, but because of that, we have maybe a little extra stuff to talk about going into this week.
And we're refreshed and we're renewed. You know what I'm saying? Everyone's
wide-eyed,
looking clean today.
bushy-tailed.
Beer game strong.
So, as we do always, we're going to start with what we've been playing. Jeff, do you want to take it?
Yeah, I don't have as much this week. Played some Gears of War. We actually played that on stream.
Yeah.
We did the horde mode, which was actually pretty fun. I like the
We did
variations.
do it on beginner by accident, though.
Was that by accident, though?
Pretty sure it's by accident. I don't know why it would ever just default to beginner. That's not a thing that games do.
The
Maybe
first
it's
30 levels were so boring.
Maybe it's since your experience from years, and it's like, yeah, we're gonna put this on. But towards the later rounds, it wasn't very easy.
Oh,
Which gives you an
we got
indication,
near the very end.
Yeah, but it gives you an indication of how difficult it's going to be, and also some of the skills and stuff we weren't familiar with. So that's another thing.
Yeah, we were
some of that stuff.
Too.
Yeah, some of that stuff we learned later. But the enemy types, the variations of them, I loved them. Like there were so many unique enemies in the horde mode that I was just like, I was loving it. I mean, there's nothing
really
more.
were.
Yeah, it's like, and they weren't, just like little spins on the previous ones. They were actually like
remixed versions. Yeah, it was like just completely different things. They would do interesting things. Like, what was that one that would just literally grab you and like pull you away from everyone?
That
the
Snatcher.
Snatcher.
Yep.
Snatcher. Okay, Snatcher. Yeah, that makes more sense.
Yeah. Like he grabbed you and took you all the way to the back of the back.
I was screaming for like 15 minutes.
It's like, and that trick is so funny. From him to the little slugs to the little the leaper or whatever it is.
Oh, there's the pouncer.
The pouncer. Yep.
Yeah.
And then some of the big bosses, like the little flying, looked like Krill, but it wasn't Krill.
Yeah.
Was it Swarm?
The Swarm.
Yeah,
Swarm,
it's like a bunch of little flying things that just kind of like bees, like sentient bees in the cartoons.
Yeah. And it was like between the locust type ones, those types, and then the robotic ones, like the Guardians and stuff.
Yeah.
There was a pretty good mix of characters, and I thought, this is. So I'm interested to see the escape mode and how that plays out because we didn't really get to do that.
Yeah, unfortunately, we had too many people. That turned out to be only 3 players, which
is weird.
Odd. Yeah, I don't remember hearing a 5-player game.
But it's also
really.
perfect for us 3.
Yeah,
I mean, well, that much is true. So we can definitely probably try to stream Escape at some point.
Yeah,
but we were doing our free for all thing, so we had at least one other person with us, so we couldn't really try out Escape.
Yeah. But I did go back and do some PvP, so that was fun. I do like some of the new weapon types. The maps are really cool. Some of their maps are supposed to be bigger than any of their maps from before, which is pretty cool. I'm just hoping that they don't do. I didn't get into the card thing. I don't know if I've seen that, but I'm hoping that's not a thing right now.
From what I've seen, it's a lot less intrusive than the other one. I mean,
okay,
because it seems more like character specific. Like you pick a character, because I guess you can just kind of stick with that character in all the different modes, and like depending on the mode, they have actual. Because I played Kat, who was the Spartan from Noble Team. That's kind of a guest character in the Ultimate Edition. So yeah, Kat, she's an engineer. She's able to fix things. She can upgrade defenses and whatnot, and it seems like that follows her, like in other modes, I believe. Like,
okay.
Yeah, because other people.
I did see different
skills
cards that somebody had.
Yeah, so whatever her upgrades are, like I think they help her specifically. So that I feel like that's probably an easier way than this kind of wide-reaching card thing that just
gets out of control.
Yeah, it just seems to be too much going on per 4.
To me, I think that was more of a cash grab. I'm hoping the characters are different too because there were like 20 different card mines, and you needed a card for each of them. And the chances of getting that card were, slim to none sometimes. But Blue, you played that flying sentry. Like, what was that like? Was that you played as a sentry, or was there a character you played as that allowed you to control the sentry? I was a little confused about that.
Okay, yes, everyone was confused about that, and I was trying to tell y'all So I chose Jack, right?
Oh, the actual robot.
Yeah.
The actual robot. There's
That's pretty
no
cool.
human attached to it. I was just a robot the whole time. So it was funny because it was 4 of us that went in, and we had one AI character, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so you guys kept saying like, "Why are you going over there? What are you doing?" And I was like, "Yo, I'm not that guy. I'm just the robot. I'm just the robot." So, but anyway, yeah, I was playing Jack, and that was actually it was really interesting. He's definitely a super supportive role, right?
You could tell,
Yeah, so he actually used the energy and the currency that you pick up to repair, heal people. So repair turrets and traps very fast actually. Heal up people and give them kind of an overshield. And his ult is he can hack into enemies. So some of the really cool parts was taking over the big dudes and turning them against their people, or putting them in the way of the train. It was like, yo. Now the problem is like if they get killed by the train, Jack comes out right where they were, and then Jack gets killed by the train. So you kind of have to you have to put them in that area, and prematurely leave. Yeah, let them go just as the train is coming, and then knock them out. So that was a really cool thing. And his primary fire is like a little taser that does pretty good damage. In 2 full charges, you can kill most enemies, but it takes a while. And then, but more importantly, he can stun them in place while they're getting electrocuted.
I did see that. Yeah.
So,
I think it's a very unique thing to add to Gears. I mean, because he wasn't in previous games. So that's something pretty cool to add.
He just wasn't a playable character.
Like, Jack
has always been around as like their
he's been around, but he wasn't somebody you could control. So I think that's very good, adding a non-human locust character to the game to play as. And when we lost you, we significantly understood what your role was when you were gone. We were like, oh, nobody's repairing this stuff, or nobody's doing this, nobody's doing that. Like, what's going on? And so we understand that this game is going to be very, very role oriented as far as horde mode goes.
I like that. I really like that in PvE games. And just like you guys were saying, I didn't really notice until you said it. The enemies are so diverse; they're unpredictable. You know what I mean? And you really have to know what each one does. Like,
you get real familiar with the different enemy types.
Exactly. Now we're still trying to learn what those what were they called? Spikes, or the little things in the middle that we were supposed to capture?
Oh yeah, those little glowing
points. The
taps. Yeah. Next time we get on, we got to try that. We have to capture that and hold on to it, because apparently it produces more power to help us.
I think you did say we got to hold it for like 10 rounds or something like that.
Something like that. Yeah.
We'll look into that, because what I heard before going into the horde mode was that there is a way to try and expand your space, because we hunkered down in like one specific area.
Yeah.
But supposedly, like, we can kind of push forward and take more territory of the map. I don't know if it opens up more map for us to like go through, but that's kind of the gist I got from it. But I think it does center around that whole tap mechanic.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we'll definitely have to look into that. But I did do some PvP, and that was fun as always. So I'm definitely going to be doing a lot of that. And that's actually all I got to really play this week.
Okay.
So did you want to go next, Boo? Or?
Yeah, I got it. So, I play Overwatch. I played... I finally picked up Mortal Kombat 11. I started playing that.
Yeah, you said you actually bought it.
My man.
You see, so this is the thing, y'all. I gotta let the viewers know. I've been trying to get a hold of Jeff's time for like a whole week, maybe a little less. Pretty much the day I bought it, I said, "Hey, Jeff, what you doing?" You know what I mean? Oh, I'm busy right now. Okay, I understand. The man's got a life. Yo, this whole week I've been trying to get this man on the Xbox without telling him that I got Mortal Kombat 11. It got ridiculous to the point where I was just like, all right, I'm just telling everybody that I got Mortal Kombat.
Because he'd be like, there's some secret. He was like, I got to show you something on the Xbox. I'm like, okay, show me. I'm like, no, you gotta be on your Xbox for me to show. I'm like,
I was gonna send him a game invite.
Like, what?
He's like, what's this dude?
Because I kind of was like, when you guys were talking about MKX, and I was like, oh, come see me at MKX. I was like, I got some hands for you. You ain't never reply. So I'm like,
nah, man.
Okay. I'm like, oh, that's why. Yeah. You trying to catch me slipping. You probably practiced like the whole day and was like, Jeff, hey, get on.
I definitely practiced a little bit, yeah. I'm playing, my main right now is Garrus, and he's basically a mystical Doomfist.
Yeah.
I can see that.
The Earth dude, the Earth God or whatever he is.
This Sands of Time warrior.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
He has time powers. He can kind of like.
So he's like
It's super
the
cool.
prince, the African American Prince of Persia.
No. Because he's a lot more badass.
Yeah, I think his time powers really kind of just extend to his mortality. Like he just can't die because he reverses it, or can he actually reverse time?
Okay, so this is the thing. In the story, every time he dies, he comes back stronger. Unless you destroy his like I can't remember. It's like a sand battery or something like that, right?
That
So
sounds legit.
yeah, it powers because he's supposedly a moment in time that can't be moved. So yeah, it's pretty crazy what his actual origin story is. But when it comes to actual combat, there's a move that he does, and I hate putting it out there because I know Jeff's gonna start looking out for it. But I can't remember what it's called. It's called Immortality or something like that. But if you've lost the first round and you're getting to the second round and you're getting your butt beat, you can pop it real quick, and whatever health you're at, it's kind of like Tracer's Recall. If they kill you, you'll come back with that much health back. And it's pretty crazy. A lot of his
That sounds ridiculous.
That
Yo,
is ridiculous.
But this is the thing, though. It doesn't last for like the whole round.
Okay,
It
so you
lasts
can't
for like
pop it at
15
the
seconds
start.
or something like that.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So you have to get killed in 15 seconds, or if you just take a lot of damage and don't die, will it refund the health you lost still?
No.
So you have
no.
to lose.
You have to die, yeah.
Wow.
Other than that, aesthetically, he does a lot of stuff where he like he'll throw you one way, and then he'll rerun time, and then you come back, and he does another attack. It's pretty cool. So yeah, definitely look out for me on MK11.
I'm looking to collect you.
That's gonna be fun. Okay, I see you, Mr. Collector. Break all four of them arms. Oh, okay. And yesterday, the girl and I played this game called For the King. Right?
I saw you on that. But then when I tried to
Damn.
click to get like see more info on the, because for one, Blue was actually showing up as online, which I thought was odd.
Very
I
rare.
do it every now and then, you know.
So when I
like
saw
to
you
be
playing
social.
For the King, I'm like, what is that? But then when I would click on it, it would then say Overwatch. So maybe it was old information. So yeah, I don't
It's
know.
possible. Yeah.
So that confused me. But yeah,
But
go on.
yeah, For the King is they call it a roguelike RPG game. And it's a very slow game. But it's a lot of fun. We played it co-op. You can do up to 3 people. And you make your little character. There's like 4 different classes, and you choose from 3 different campaigns. It feels so much like traditional D&D. In the very first campaign that we started, the actual For the King campaign, the king was murdered, and we're trying to find out who did it. Very simple, right? The queen, I think it was, sends you to one town to start looking for answers. So while Desi and I have our own markers, we can move around the map. It's a hexagon grid, and you can move around the map separately, or we can go together and fight monsters, get experience, trade items, equip stuff. Like it's really more in depth than it looks on the surface. Other fights are like 2v2 or 3v3, depending on how many characters you go in with. And overall, like I said, it's a really relaxing, really fun game. The music's great, and there's like a lot of little buffs and character tweaks, and you have role checks. And what I mean by role checks, not like what role are you playing, but
D&D, yeah.
rolling dice. Exactly.
Yeah, so like if you really get hit with an arrow, you can make a luck check. Like you gotta roll dice.
Yeah,
yeah.
they have like certain you have to roll a certain amount of times, and you have to pass a certain amount of times for different things to happen, right? Just like Pathfinder, D&D 4.0 and 3.5, really. So it's just it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun, and it really brought me back to the traditional D&D campaigns. Oh, and you can make black characters. I was like, yes.
Plus.
Yeah. So definitely check it out. If you got the time, if you want to just chill out and play some really old school fantasy stuff. But that's me.
Okay. But
Oh, real quick.
Uh-huh.
I saw a trailer for this game called Moonlighter. I think it's super cute and super cool. I like the concept. Yeah, I'm gonna be playing it on stream this week.
Yeah, that's cool.
So
hopefully I'll be able to check that out because that
Look for
concept
that.
does look cool.
Yeah.
But it's funny you mentioned the fact you could play as black characters in For the King, because I started playing Monster Hunter Iceborne,
Yeah.
and there's way better black hair options in that game now.
You did mention that to me yesterday.
Yeah, like because me and Jeff, we played the beta on a
Mm-hmm.
stream, right?
Yeah.
And like, so like what they just give you like, preset faces to go with, and the preset face that I chose had like a dope like, C4 hair fade. Like, I'm like, this
What?
dude looks like a black dude. Like, this guy
Okay.
looks great. So I
Hey,
went with that
Capcom
character.
is listening.
When the actual game released, they give you vouchers to kind of just change your character's look. So I already
pretty
had
cool.
one from before because I never changed it when I guess
Yeah.
they gave them last time. So I decided, you know what? Let me just check out what's in there. They have some cool. They have way more options for like dreadlocks and stuff, like variations on them. So it's not just one big weird messy looking thing.
Yeah.
They're like different styles with dreads in them.
What?
There's an actual Caesar, like just a short, close shave head or whatever. There's like a nice fro, not like a big outlandish one. Like it's big, but it's like it's a fro. It's a real.
It
thick
looks
fro.
good.
Yeah.
Okay.
They got like the curly kind of wavy lady type fros, like maybe like a mixed black girl type fro. You know what I mean? It's just there's a bunch of cooler looking black hair in there. So in light of all those new options, I just changed my character. Like I went ahead,
Yeah.
because I used to kind of look like Hanzo from Overwatch.
You
They
did.
You did.
They didn't let me change the name, but I just changed the character. So now he kind of looks exactly like the character that I played in the beta. So like that's kind of what I landed on there. And then like I started I basically did all the intro stuff to get you into the DLC proper, because there's a couple of like introductory cutscenes and missions and stuff. And that game is beautiful. It's just more story. Like, so sadly you have to deal with the handler being annoying again, because it's the same
Fam.
the same deal. She runs out and does something.
She
You gotta
is
come pull her back.
problematic.
Yeah, like she's a pain. But I don't know. After all this time, she's kind of grown on me. Like I find her kind of like dorky cute.
No. When she does one thing right, I'll be like, all right, you cute. But if you're constantly a thorn to my side, nah, fam, we need somebody else.
She's annoying, but she's my
I feel like she
handler,
didn't
you
get
know
any
what
formal training.
I mean? Right.
They just gave her a book. She's like, cool, I'll just write stuff. And that was how she got the job.
I mean, she brave though. You'll give her that.
There's a fine line between brave and stupid.
All right, so you just believe she's stupid. Gotcha. So, but there's like an introductory mission against like the water, like that water. I was gonna say Pokemon, but that water monster. What is it, Gyarados?
Yeah,
Gyarados.
the ice version.
Gyarados. Yeah, it was an ice
Ice
version, like a
Gyarados.
shark type version of that monster that you fight in the snow. It was really tough. I want to say it took like maybe 45 minutes to beat on my own with the bow. But it was a fun fight the whole way through. And my
Yeah, a lot
family
of the
usually
mechanics are cool.
Yeah.
I think some things you messed up on during the beta that I kind of went back and saw
Mhm.
was you can push monsters into walls using the claw. So you can latch on them.
Oh, I didn't know
push
that.
them. If they're not facing the wall, you can actually turn them 90 degrees no matter what. So once you jump on them, as long as they're not enraged, you can use the claw to turn them 90 degrees. Now if they're adjacent to the wall and you turn them 90 degrees, it'll push off of them. You'll shoot whatever slinger ammo you have into them, and they'll run into a wall.
That's crazy.
That's how.
pretty cool.
So
I
the
got
guy
that.
had a pretty. I got to look it up, and we'll talk about that on the stream later. But the guy had a pretty in depth covering all the uses of the claw, and there was some like stuff like that we didn't know, so we weren't using it.
Yeah.
But you can use that to push them into hazards and whatnot. And the cool thing is you can actually go into the training ground.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can change it from the little pillar
Mm-hmm.
to a wagon that they have covered with barrels that you can treat as a monster and use
That's pretty cool.
the claw to kind of
To
practice on it.
Okay, that's dope. Yeah, I'm probably
That's
gonna do
pretty
that.
cool.
I spent some time in the practice grounds when I was first learning most of the weapons that I use now, so there's no reason not to go back since they added like some new attacks and stuff to pretty much all the weapons. So I'm
Yeah.
really excited about playing more of Monster Hunter World, but that was pretty much as I did was just that first mission that got me into the new space. But other than that, played Gears 5 with you guys, but we talked about that. Before that, going into last week, I I played Ancestors, the Humankind Odyssey, which is the new
Yeah.
game from Patrice
Bro, I saw
Désilets.
your review.
Yeah, like that. That was that's my latest 3 minute review, I believe. And
So we'll put that link in the description at the bottom too. So go ahead and check that out.
yeah, we'll do
Uh,
that. But that game is literally about trying to live as
Survive.
the first humans. Like it's a survival game first and foremost, and I get what he was going for. Like like at first when you just hear it, it's like that's a dumb idea. I don't want to play as a primate type thing or whatever.
Yeah.
But I get what he was going for. It's still just really boring.
when I
Yeah.
saw the review, because I've seen gameplay pop up different
Mhm.
places. I saw the review, it became a little bit more interesting. But I was thinking of it in like a different aspect.
Mhm.
Like I was watching Planet of the Apes last night. And I was like, oh, they're picking up sticks, and they were using like, some guns, and I'm like, okay, that could have been in the party. That could have been like from the game. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
no, like they're trying to treat it
you
from like a
evolve.
realistic perspective.
Yeah.
It's like you're supposed to do and find and learn things that then translate into knowledge that gets passed on via your genealogy to your children. So like you literally like you have to make a mate. It's like a dumb mini game where you like pick bugs off of the other monkey. And I'm calling them monkeys. I know they're not monkeys. They call them hominids in the
Right.
game or whatever. But for the sake of ease, let's just call them monkeys. You're like picking the bugs off the other monkeys, and then that gives you the bond. And then, if a couple has formed, then you go lay down in your bed, and then you say, "Call your mate over." They come over, and then you mate. And then, if the mate is fertile for I guess 2 or 3 mating attempts, they'll get pregnant. And then you advance time 15 months, and you get a baby. So you're supposed to take these babies on your back and then
Oh,
run around
yeah.
the world. So, because if you
That
don't
would
do
be
that,
a good game to
Uh-huh.
have like in schools. You know what I mean?
yo,
Like
I
something
felt
for
the exact same way.
Yeah.
Because like, there's a lot of information there, and I'm guessing most of it is based on actual science. But
Can
it's
I do
still kind of
a-
freeform.
Short blue tangent on apes and monkeys.
Go ahead.
Very short. Those are like the only animals I'm afraid of. Like, no, for real. Y'all laugh. I like it. They scare the crap out of me. Like people always talk about like, oh, if there's a zombie apocalypse, what you do? Da, da, da. I was like, I don't care about that. If there's a ape apocalypse or monkey apocalypse, like I've seen those.
So, Planet of
before.
the Apes is your
Planet of the Apes is
is a horror
terrifying
movie
to
to
me.
you.
You don't understand. Y'all think I'm playing. It is terrifying. I've seen a monkey before. I've
So you-
seen them do crazy things. Planet of the Apes is not far away, in my opinion.
So you don't like Caesar?
Heck no. Yo, I saw that dude say no on a
that
which
was
was the very
like,
first one?
Yeah, that was the 1st
Mhm.
rebooted one. With
Yeah,
James
the first
Franco.
reboot. That was scary as hell.
That was a dope scene though.
It was. That series is actually pretty
Cinematically,
good.
yes.
Yeah.
But I couldn't watch the whole thing. Like
Did you
I
pee a little?
legit No, I walked out, so I didn't have to.
I can't take this. I'm not.
I really, y'all think I'm playing. I do not do monkeys, apes, none of that
That's
stuff.
funny. Okay, so
And so when I saw your review, I was just like, oh, gameplay aside, I'm like, yeah, there's definitely no way I'm playing this game.
I mean, you might have liked it because a lot of what happens is you get violently murdered by the other wildlife in the game.
Oh man.
Like it's super. The opening scene is it's like an elderly ape with a baby. And
Yeah.
like I guess they find their way into like a bird's nest. They're like trying to eat an egg, and this giant bird shows up, picks the ape away, drops him down. The baby like gets tossed off or whatever from being dropped, and then you see the ape like reach into the baby like, run, get out of here, and then the bird like stabs him in the head with the beak. Like this is
So-
the first thing the game shows you.
I don't hate monkeys. I just fear them, right? Like, they've been oppressed for a long, long time. Just
Oh, you're
putting in
waiting for that
cages.
revolution.
It's coming, and I'm trying to be clear with them that it's not me. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
It's
will it be
mostly not
televised?
brown people that is caging you up, all right? That's not our MO. I'm just going to say it that way.
He was not part of this.
We was not, look, hey, we both brown. You know what I'm saying?
So,
Anyway, that's my short blue tangent.
so I mean that's pretty much Ancestors. Like if you're really into survival games, it is I guess a good one of those at its heart. I just found it really boring because a lot of the stuff you have to do, there's no way to like create recipes or to fast track any of the stuff that you do figure out. because a lot of it is like
Yeah.
early Minecraft, where it's like, oh, if I put these two things together, I get this, and that was kind of the fun of it. There's a lot of that in Ancestors, but you have to do
You
it
have to
every
keep
single
doing
time.
Yeah.
So it just got real grating and annoying. Everything just takes forever. So I didn't really like it too much, but there's probably an audience out there for it somewhere. Other than that, there was something else I played. That
You recently played Remnant on stream.
on stream, true.
Yeah.
But I feel like
yeah.
I think I talked about that earlier, like about what that game is after I reviewed it. So I won't go too
Yeah.
much into that. But that's okay.
It was cool to see you run it though.
Yeah, that game is fun. It's more fun with people because it gets
I can
frustrating to keep.
I've been trying to get you to get Blue to get it, but
Shut up.
Anyway, that's gonna do it for what we've been playing. We're gonna go now into our topics. First things first. Blue, you wanted to bring up some additional details on the Obi-Wan series that's hitting Disney Plus, right?
Yeah. Wearing my Millennium Falcon shirt just for this. The Obi-Wan series takes place 8 years after the third movie. So it's
and that was Revenge of the Sith, right?
Revenge of the Sith. Yeah, third one. And pretty much, I'm hoping to see an 8-year-old Luke Skywalker, and maybe Ben see him every now and then. But
Did
definitely,
he say that he used to do that or something? That he would like periodically check in on him?
Yeah, he definitely checked in on Luke. Now Luke knows of Ben. He doesn't know that he's Obi-Wan, obviously. But growing up, Luke knows of Ben. I don't know how close they were, but
right. Yeah, you're right. He did. Yeah, he did know who he was.
Yeah. And on top of that, I don't know if we mentioned this before, but there's another Star Wars series. So there's going to be 3 live-action series, right? You got The Mandalorian.
Yep.
You got this Obi-Wan Kenobi story. And then you have one that's based on, what's his name? Cassian from the Rogue One movie.
Oh, okay.
So it's a prequel to Rogue One.
Who was Cassian?
Cassian was the Latino spy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was in his first scene. He killed an informant. He was pretty much running the operation. He's like the rebel operative, and he was super cool. He's the one that ended up dying with
the ship and everybody. Yeah.
On the planet.
Yeah, I mean, I saw that movie. I don't remember him at all.
He's like the second protagonist.
Yeah. I'm just disappointed we didn't get a Knights of the Old Republic TV show.
True, but I did hear about a Knights of Ren. It was either an animation or another story coming out about the Knights of Ren. So that's a pretty interesting storyline to go down. But yeah, I just wanted to update the folks on the Obi-Wan time slot is after the third movie, 8 years after the third movie. So we're going to see Ben just getting used to exile, I guess. So
Okay.
yeah, look forward to that. That's going to be cool.
They also, we talked about this before, but it's Ewan McGregor who's still playing the same part,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
That's the news. I'm too excited for that.
Yeah, I
He
want to see
killed that role.
how that works.
Yeah.
But okay, so we're gonna move on to our next topic. Nintendo just yesterday, I want to say,
Yeah.
had a Nintendo Direct about 40 minutes long. Was that yesterday or was that 2 days ago?
No, that was like 2 days ago.
Okay. You know
I
me
just
and
thought
time.
about it.
But 2 days ago, Nintendo Direct, Nintendo had a Direct, for about 40 minutes or so, just going into a bunch of new stuff that they're going to be having coming out over the course of the year. A lot of cool stuff. We're just going to go through a couple of topics out of that Direct that we found most interesting. First thing is, which I'm sure Blue is super excited about, Overwatch coming to Switch.
You would think I'd be excited about it.
Yeah, to me it's
Really?
It's just
'cause
like
most people already have a first system. So like if you have a Switch for the most part, you already have Overwatch on an existing system if you were thinking about
But
getting
now
it.
you can get Overwatch to go.
Yeah,
but you have to be
no.
online for that.
Yeah, so it's not to go. It's on the couch.
That is a valid concern. A lot of people, I think, did bring that up. How the Switch is a portable system, but Overwatch is an online-only game, so you need to have a stable connection to actually make use of it. And a lot of people don't have mobile hotspots, or decent mobile hotspots at least, to kind of just go along with their Switch. So that does seem a bit of a mismatch. But on the other hand, Fortnite exists on Switch, and that's doing well, isn't it?
Is it doing well on the Switch platform?
I mean, is it not? Like I don't actually know the answer.
I mean, I don't care about Fortnite like that.
But it is a good example, because just like Fortnite,
Okay.
Overwatch is getting around Nintendo's voice chat situation, and they are allowed for in-game voice chat, which only Overwatch and not Overwatch, only Fortnite and I think one other game are allowed to do. Like everything else has to go through Nintendo's app, including Nintendo's first-party games.
Right.
So,
honestly, for Overwatch on the Switch, okay, more power to you. I'm not gonna pull it up on the Switch at all, not even once. And if there's any kind of crossplay, I don't want one of them cats on my TV. Not one. And I hope to dust the rest of them, honestly.
I will say, they did show a couple of Switch-specific features, but like the dumbest features you could possibly add, like the motion control of Junkrat's tire, and then like aiming via motion control with Widow sniper rifle. Like that's like terrible. You never want to aim like that.
Never.
And honestly, like the Joy-Cons, like holding it in handheld mode for first-person shooters, like those sticks are terrible for like playing.
So that's why
first-person shooter.
Yeah, I think this is a good introduction to the game, and then you could get on a big boy console.
It's showing like they're trying to get more third-party games, which we get.
Yeah, but
you got to pick those games when they're coming out. You know what I mean? To kind of get more bang for your buck, or some stuff that are like, even The Witcher. I mean, who wouldn't want to play The Witcher on the go? Yeah, it's a little dumbed down, but it's on the go, and it's The Witcher, so you can play it. I mean, I would.
Except you have already.
Yeah, but Overwatch, I don't see myself, like you said, it's online only, and it's been out for a while.
Like 3 years now, right?
Yeah,
2.5,
3 years.
Yeah, a couple years.
This is the thing, right? I feel like I'm as excited for Overwatch on the Switch as any Assassin's Creed fan would be of an Assassin's Creed game comes to the Switch. It's just like,
You're like, oh, that's cool.
Even that's a little different, because if you never played it and you want to play it, you can play it on the go.
No, that's why I said Assassin's Creed fan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Excuse you.
No, it's alright. Excuse me. But let's keep it pushing, because Overwatch, cool.
Yeah, that's just
good job, man.
Yep.
Like, good on you.
Yeah.
All right, so
I ain't mad at it.
I'm going to skip over this next thing because I think there's a little more meat on that. Other game announcements. Jedi Knight 2, the old, what was that, 360 game or original Xbox?
It was original Xbox.
So Jedi Knight 2 also making its way to Switch.
Yeah.
Jedi Knight 2 has a subtitle that I cannot remember right now.
When it comes to Jedi Knight 2, I do want to play it. I played the first one. On the original Xbox, and I do want to play the second one. I'm not jumping at the bit for it because these old stories aren't necessarily canon.
True.
They're fun, but they're not canon, right? And for me to really want to dive deep into something that's not canon, I have to have a customization that's me in this game. I don't want to play some generic dude that has nothing to do with nothing.
Right.
So, like, for example, Knights of the Old Republic 2, while you couldn't customize your appearance a whole bunch, your whole character is tailored exactly the way you want it. So I definitely, that has replay value for me now. But this one, I want to play it, but it's going to be a while before I get it.
I remember it being probably one of the most beloved Star Wars licensed games of the time.
You know what? I think a lot of people, a lot of people say this all the time. The first one's better than the second one, right? But I think, like I said, I haven't played the second one, but from what I've heard, the story is better in the first one, but the mechanics are better in the second one.
Yeah, because weirdly enough, even though it's like probably the most popular thing in Star Wars. You don't get too many Star Wars games where you run around with a lightsaber, and that's what these were.
Yeah,
So
yeah, and
people were really
not
happy.
just running around with the lightsaber, but cultivating your force powers along with it. Now,
Mm.
granted, that's the Force Unleashed, but I think the Force Unleashed was basically God of War with the Star Wars skin on it.
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
as much, but
I
yeah.
can see that.
So, so yeah, all that to say, Jedi Knight 2. Yeah, let's check it out.
All right,
But
so
wait, because Star Killer took down the whole destroyer with just the Force, so you just gonna ignore him like that?
How am I ignoring him? What are you talking about?
You just say he was just like Kratos with a. I mean, he was just like
Kratos is here
Kratos with a Star
punching
Wars
gods.
skin.
Kratos could probably take down a Star Destroyer.
He probably
He
could.
kills gods. Like, that's his job.
But yeah, if you had any interest in the Jedi Knight series, it's coming to Switch, so you'll get a chance to replay those games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Last bit of Smash of Nintendo. Well, no, second to last bit of Nintendo news. We got Banjo on the day the Direct came out. Banjo, we already knew he was coming. He
That was a
released
big
that
surprise.
day. Yeah, it was a surprise that he was coming out that day. But then they went ahead and announced that Terry Bogard from SNK Fighter Fatal Fury is going to be the next fighter, the final fighter.
I'm
of
excited
the
about
Smash
that.
DLC pack.
I did see a leak about that previously where they was going to talking about SNK character.
Yeah, I knew it was an
the next
SNK
Smash
character. People
yeah.
figured that out because like a logo.
I
Had
thought it was
appeared
going to
at
be
the
a
bottom
girl.
of the
I thought it was going to
webpage.
be a female because we haven't gotten a female yet.
Oh, like a female guest character?
Yes.
You're right. Yeah.
Well,
I guess
yeah,
Piranha
not in this
Plant.
pack.
Piranha Plant doesn't, I guess, have a gender.
Would be asexual.
yeah, like
It's still not a woman.
yeah, but it's not a woman, right?
No, yeah.
So yeah, I didn't even think of that.
We got Bayonetta before.
Yeah, that was in 4.
Yeah,
That
Yeah,
was-
but
this
for now
this
we
go
didn't.
around, you're right. Yeah, there hasn't been.
But there's
female
still
character.
one more character after this one coming
Terry.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Is it
it's supposed to be
Yeah, there's
5.
another one.
Joker, Hero,
Joker?
Banjo, Terry, and then one more.
Oh, you're right. And what's cool is they made this announcement. There's still one more left, and
For
then
the
they
winter.
added, we're gonna have a whole new roster of DLC fighters.
That's what I
afterwards.
love about it.
Yeah.
That's what is such
Say,
a
look,
smart
we got
move.
Much more to go.
You keep the
Hang
game
in.
alive, and you continue to make revenue.
Yeah, because no
Hopefully
one
they
is
make
mad
money
at
off
them
of this.
throwing in more characters. Like
Yeah.
like the Smash community loves these reveals.
Smash.
Like
Yep.
they get people so hype. People are still playing the game, but every time a new character is announced, similar to Overwatch, whenever they would have new maps and characters come out, it just reinvigorates everybody because there's so much new stuff to do. The meta changes little by little. Like it's great, it's fantastic. I hope they never stop doing it. Like, it's the ultimate game. Let it be the ultimate game and just never release Smash
you didn't
Ultimate 2.
You didn't even make another Smash Brothers. Just keep making characters.
Yeah, Smash Ultimate 2 and it's just a port to the next system, which is everything. I'd have no problem with that. But I thought that was really, really cool. Last thing is, we talked about this. We actually predicted and said that this is something Nintendo should do. Finally, SNES games are coming to Nintendo Switch Online.
I was playing Super Mario World 2 this morning. That was so cool.
Did you go to Star Road?
No, I didn't start there. I went to
Oh,
1-1.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
1-1. Mm-hmm.
Old classic. Yo, and they got the classic SNES controller coming out.
Oh my god, that got me so hyped. But it's like
$30.
Yeah, it's like $30.
And that's the only thing you could use it for. So it's like,
Yeah. Well, would you be able to
You use
also
it for
use
other
it
things.
for like
Smash.
Would you?
It'd be a little weird though.
Yeah, that
I know it'd be
it doesn't
weird,
have
but
analog
it's
sticks.
good, right?
But I mean, if you could use it for just any game, the fact that like I have the Mega Man X collection, for example, and
Yeah.
the D-pad, even on the Pro controller, doesn't feel the same.
Really don't.
I would love to take those games on with that controller because that's the controller that I played those.
That
games
would be
on
something cool
originally.
that if you could do that.
But
Yeah.
I'm not sure if that works that way. I really hope it does.
So they're supposed to do irregular updates of new SNES
Yeah,
games
so that's
coming on there.
kind of the downside is that now that they've thrown SNES games into the mix with the NES games, you're no longer going to get 2 to 4 per month. They said it's going to be irregular now. So
Yeah.
whenever games are released, like maybe along with Directs, Nintendo will just dump out a batch of games or something because those kind of come out whenever they want. So a bit of bad news, but honestly, the upside of having SNES games now on the online service, definitely a boon for people who subscribe to the online service because they don't give you a lot of incentive to pay that thing unless you play online games. But this, I feel like, this is what they needed to do.
Now, are you able to download those games and take them with you, or do you have to be online to play them?
No, I'm pretty sure you can download them.
Okay.
Yeah, I think. I mean, I just opened it up and it started playing immediately. So I think once you download the app, you got it all.
Yeah.
Oh, they're on there. Okay,
Yeah, it's
that
like
makes sense.
because the NES one is like its own.
I mean, because they don't
take
take up that much space. You would think anyway. So.
Mine downloaded in like 2 seconds.
You okay?
Yeah.
I don't know what that gasp was about.
Man's was shocked.
You got that high speed internet. It said 2 seconds.
So,
yeah, man.
anything else you guys want to add about the Nintendo Direct or the SNES games coming to Switch?
I did see some Pokemon stuff, which is pretty cool. You got camps.
I was about to talk about that.
Oh yeah, I missed that entirely.
Yeah, so that was pretty cool. You got some camps. You got some. I saw some food recipes and stuff you can make.
Curry.
They did a little mix
They're
of
very
stuff.
specific
Yeah,
about curry.
yeah, the curry.
Yeah,
all the recipes.
Even
are
that's
just
all
curry.
Brock would make all the time, with just some curry.
Curry on
Just
rice.
different colored curry.
Yeah.
Did you see anything besides like the camps and the cooking?
They
Mama?
said there's 50 types of curry that you'd have to collect. The camps, you interact with your own Pokemon, and then you can see.
Cook them all.
Gotta cook them all, exactly. You can visit other people's Pokemon. They strongly encouraged it.
Yeah, because you get some kind of bonuses from like having your Pokemon hang out with friends, and the fact that everything that they do to push people together, as opposed to separating it out and making it more single player oriented, I'm a fan of.
Yeah, I'm part of that because we wanted a MMO type Pokemon
Yeah, like that's what I'm waiting for.
And we're getting that in essence because you can see other characters in the world, you can interact with them, that type of stuff. So I'm all for it. I mean, they're taking some big changes from this game, and was it Let's Go Eevee and Let's Go Pikachu?
Mm.
They incorporated some stuff from Pokemon Go, which is pretty cool, and then they're adding a lot more innovative stuff, which if you weren't a fan of the series, is going to help bring you in. And you don't necessarily have to be a veteran of Pokemon to actually jump into this one, which is awesome.
Two things I really wanted to say about this. One bad and one weird, I guess.
So none of them.
Let's start with the weird one. They have, Pokemon. They're notorious for making just some ridiculous looking Pokemon.
True.
The one that they featured in the Direct was tea.
Yes. I
literally tea that you drink.
Oh god!
And they said something along the lines of, "Oh, if you're nice to him, he'll let you taste its tea."
It'll let you taste it.
Oh,
and I was like, "No, bad Nintendo."
They do make those Pokemon where like, what is that?
That was so. They've had a chandelier be a Pokemon.
They're
like,
literally a bag of garbage. That is a Pokemon.
Like,
for real though.
Like,
and that was representing like their New York region.
I swear they just be looking around the office. Thermostat mon. You know what I mean? Like,
I think they made the Pokedex a Pokemon too.
The Pokedex is a Pokemon.
Radamon or Rada something.
Oh my goodness, that's just ridiculous. So, yeah, that's the weird and the bad. I've been complaining about this every version since I think it was Sun and Moon. Not being able to customize your character. Right now, what they did say on this one, they were really proud about how you can customize every little bit of fashion and stuff like that. But I didn't see one skin tone change.
But I'm pretty sure skin tone is in there.
Yeah,
it hasn't been.
It hasn't been a problem if it wasn't.
It hasn't been for the last 3 or 4 versions.
Really?
But in the games you can only change. You couldn't change your skin color. You can either pick between guy and girl. You can kind of change your clothes a little bit, but that's it.
Exactly.
I'm gonna look because I feel like maybe I'm thinking of Pokemon Go because Pokemon Go definitely has skin color changes.
It's Pokemon Go, right? Ain't nobody like.
I mean, but like Jeff was saying, they actually did lift some stuff out of Pokemon Go.
They did lift some stuff.
And if they're gonna talk about all the customization, like you're saying, that is a huge oversight if you can't change the skin color. I felt like because I was thinking that too. I felt like maybe since they had like the faces in the video, they just didn't want to change the faces, and they were showing you the clothes and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought it was in there.
It was about 3 or 4 generations back. They had it where you could change the skin tone, right? Mm-hmm. And then in the next one, they said they didn't do it because they wanted the character to focus on the fashion or something like that because it was like a French theme or something like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I know in blue and red, you could
insane.
change the color of your outfit, but that was it.
Yeah, you can never. there's only one
It's like blue
game.
and red was just black and white. Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
But
they've got to let you
hopefully-
change the skin color because like think of all
hopefully that's not
actual gym trainers that they've announced who are like really cool designed
Yeah.
persons of color.
They've been colored for a long time, different shades of colors for a long time in these last iterations, but your character has still had that fair skin.
It's crazy.
I would hope
And that's
that
after they implemented it once.
because they would get a lot of criticism for that. I'm hoping they wouldn't be as oblivious to the world as to not include, even if they put a button in where you can turn it off. You know, I wouldn't think they would just like ignore. It's like no, that's another. They would, but
yeah, that
they would get they get a lot of backlash
oversight
for that. Yeah.
If
I hope.
We'll update everybody. We'll keep you updated once we get the answer to that conundrum.
Yeah. But yeah, that's the only two things I really had to say about the Pokemon game coming out and what they're doing with it. It looks in depth, maybe a little too in depth for me, but
just know
I don't think
when we
anyone's
battle,
ever said that about Pokemon before.
I'm gonna poop on you.
Oh, you're gonna when we battle?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
yes.
Okay. So moving sort of off of Nintendo, I'm gonna switch the place of these last two topics.
Got you.
Aladdin and the Lion King, the OG SNES/Genesis games, are getting a remaster.
Yep.
Yeah.
So they're bringing them back. Notoriously difficult, especially the Lion King. Notoriously difficult platformer.
Do you think they're going to dumb them down? Because I think they're doing it because the movies just came out.
True.
And so they're thinking kids are going to be more inclined to play it.
Or the
And they don't have
parents
to-
even
Yes.
would be like, oh, I want you to play this
Exactly.
game from this movie that you just saw the remake of. So you can
Yeah,
feel my
and then
pain.
we might want to play it. And then the thing
Exactly.
is, they don't have to invest all this money and to create a whole nother game that is up to date graphics wise
Yep,
as far
this
as
is way easier.
and potentially mess it up.
Honestly, it's perfect timing.
Yeah.
You got the kids who just saw the movie and the adults with the nostalgia. Why not get it?
Do you think they're going to keep that difficulty level where it is, or do you think they're going to scale it back, or do we? Because to me, it wasn't as difficult as like it's put out there to be. Like
The hitboxes aren't tight in the original.
Kid Chameleon was like a lot more difficult than Aladdin and the Lion King for me, but like.
But you
know.
But you played the Genesis versions, right?
Yeah, don't you
'cause they are
dare
different.
try to disrespect
No, I'm
the Genesis
what I'm saying,
version
'cause, yeah,
and
'cause-
say that
'cause
the
they are
Super Nintendo
different.
version was harder.
I've never played a Genesis version, so I don't know if they're as hard as. And the thing is, I guess some people are lumping Aladdin in with the Lion King, the SNES one.
When it
I
comes
mean,
to-
in terms of
for
difficulty. 'Cause
difficulty?
I don't remember the Aladdin game being all that difficult. The Lion King one, I've always heard for SNES was super difficult, but I don't know if that translates to the Genesis one. I've also seen people kind of confuse the SNES version of the Lion King for the Genesis
With
one.
the
Genesis.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like that's not
You
that's
have
not that game.
No, I did see the argument on IGN where it was some people were saying the Genesis version was better, some people were saying the Super Nintendo version was better, but it's the same thing. Like back then, whatever system you had
Was the one
had
that
the
you
better
felt
version.
was better, right?
Yeah, so it was just like.
So I personally have never played either of the Genesis versions. I have played the SNES versions for both these games. I played them a ton of times over and over and over again. So if I were to get this collection, I'd be playing those Genesis games for the first time, and I may not even care enough to finish them. Like I have no
Did you
nostalgia
unlock
for
Metal?
those versions.
Did you unlock Metal Simba at the end?
What?
Seriously,
Metal Simba.
there was Metal Simba.
Metal Simba.
Omega Simba.
That's really dumb.
I laugh in the face of
My train of thought is in the garbage can now. Like what?
Yeah, man, you get to play Metal Simba towards the end.
But to what you were saying, in terms of the difficulty of them scaling it back, I doubt that they'll change anything in the games because that would be work for them to go back in and actually make adjustments. What I do think they'll do is they'll add certain control, like a lot of ROMs and emulator hacks. They'll probably add the ability to do save states or rewind gameplay or something like that.
Yeah.
So if you do
Saving
that,
would
It's
be
funny you
yeah.
mentioned that because the SNES software that we were just talking about on the Switch has that rewind function.
Yeah, that's in there.
Yeah.
Which would definitely make a lot of those older games a lot easier because you don't have to go all the way back to the beginning if you lose all
whole
your
bunch
lives.
easier. Yeah,
Those
and
3
so
lives.
I think especially for the time we're in now, they needed that to make the game viable. You can't hold it down as difficult as it used to be. People ain't gonna play it. So hopefully they put that in there.
But yeah,
I can finish one of these games.
I think it is a calculated, marketing attack, but it's a good one. Like, you got to give props.
Yeah,
because it makes a lot of sense for them to re-release these games now.
Exactly, it makes sense.
They'll probably do well,
especially for the Switch, because that's something you can take with you. Which,
yeah,
and it won't take up anywhere near as much space as some of the other games that you get on there.
Oh yeah.
So our final topic is more so just a mention of the Joker movie's final trailer. This came out 2 weeks ago now, but the final trailer for the Joker movie released, and critics are loving it. IGN, for example, gave that movie a perfect 10.
No, I'm not disputing that.
There was a Venice Awards or film festival or something like that, and this got a perfect score. The Joker got a perfect score on it.
I'm not doubting that, but here's my thing. Okay, and just bear with me. Don't judge me. Don't judge me.
Let me give you this information for after.
Let me get my judging glasses on. Hold on.
So, I'm hoping it's still close enough to the source material where it's the Joker and not just the name, and they added this whole other. I'm okay with changing the backstory or doing a different version of the Joker.
It doesn't sound like you are.
I am. I'm okay with it, but it looks like it's just this could have been any clown. Like, it's not necessarily the Joker. You know what I mean? Like, they could have did a clown who just got fed up with society, had mental issues, and kind of just,
You don't see anything unique about his case.
I don't see the Prince of the Crown, the clown Prince of Crime, where it's.
You mean
it doesn't even mention that this is Gotham. Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't even say that this is Gotham or anything. I don't see anything that shows that. You know what I mean? Where you're Gotham, that it gives that old 50s, 60s type look.
Right.
Maybe
it was like 2002.
Yeah, it's like.
It's very possible
you go to
this
Metropolis
Joker didn't
and they
grow
got
up in
flying
Gotham.
cars.
Yeah, I always
Maybe
thought that was weird.
That's true, but we don't know where we are. I don't get a time and place or anything like that.
Well, I mean, maybe all that information is actually in the movie. You're just saying this is the impression you get from the trailers.
From the trailers, yeah. Also, in that it doesn't seem like villains or anything exist in that particular world. It just seems like it's a normal world and a normal guy who dressed up as a clown and had some issues. I'm not saying that's a problem. It could be a great movie aside from that. But I don't feel like it's a
superhero movie.
Yeah, my opinion could change once I see it.
I hope so.
Is it though? But see, like, okay, and this is not even playing off Heath Ledger's performance. It's more as what his Joker was. They didn't really get into his backstory. But the world he was in, there was, obviously there was a Batman, there were crime families and stuff like that. I see him get beat up. I see him have issues at work and stuff like that. I don't really see, he got beat up by a few thugs in the alley. I don't see any, like...
Underworld connections?
Any underworld or, like, that whole... Like, there's...
I think I understand what you're getting at. Like,
you think it's too light? Like, he's not involved in the community?
Well, the thing is, he's not involved in the community. You sound like a...
he's not
I'm not saying, like, he's a good influence. I'm just saying he's not involved.
No, I think what Jeff is missing is, like, the kind of comic book instead. Like, this seems like very grounded, more so grounded than anything that even Christopher Nolan has done.
It looks
like,
realistic.
Even though his was, like, Christopher Nolan's version was, like, gritty and more kind of more down to earth. This Joker seems like there's nothing supernatural, even though there's no supernatural stuff about that stuff, but it's still kind of fantastical. This seems like it could have been something that happened in a major actual city.
Yeah, like today's, something could happen today, and nothing's wrong with that.
Like a biological.
Exactly.
type of
It
story.
might work for the movie, but that's just me coming off. I'm going to see a Joker movie. I'm going to see what their spin on his origin is and what's going on in the world around him. Because they do simple nods to mentioning, a vigilante on TV or something like that. Stuff, simple Easter eggs. And I'm like, I'm probably not going to get that. Like you said, it's probably going to be like a real world reflection of what the Joker is. And nothing wrong with that. It could be a great performance, could be a great script. So I don't think I'm taking away from that. I'm just saying what I kind of get from it.
Okay.
Right. That makes sense.
I
Valid
gotta
concern.
say, and I've been talking to people about this trailer since it came out,
Mm-hmm.
and I believe Joker hype is real,
Mm-hmm.
right? Now I'm not saying this is a bad movie, but I feel like Joker hype is real. If there's a story that's focused on the Joker, people are gonna love it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, case in point, Suicide Squad. It wasn't focused on the Joker, and what happened? Everybody hated. Oh boy, what's his name? Jared Leto.
I didn't think his Joker was terrible.
I
It was
liked
completely, it was completely different.
But
than
he
what
wasn't in the
natural
spotlight,
But-
and everybody hates him.
But I don't know if, I mean, kind of people. Honestly, I feel like people didn't like the idea at first,
Mm-hmm.
but really it was the movie that's terrible. So it's like kind of everybody who's in that movie is kind of sharing in the hate, except for Margot Robbie's Harley Quinn, because she just looked so
I
perfect
thought Will
in that
Smith
role.
killed it.
Who? You thought Will Smith
I
killed it?
thought Will Smith killed it. Yeah,
Well, no,
Will Smith did
Will
do a
Smith is
bad
a
job.
fine actor, but
I think he
his
played his role really well, and so did
I thought like the stuff his
what's her
character
name?
did and just the plot of that movie is just god awful. Like in all
Yeah,
honesty,
the plot is pretty
It's
terrible.
really
Even if
bad.
you watch the animated version, there's like a lot of stupidness that happens in that movie. Like, for example, in the movie, Batman ends up knocking out what's his name? Who's Will Smith's character? Like
Deadshot.
Deadshot or something?
Floyd Lawton.
Oh, okay, Mr. Professional. No, we're talking about
like nobody
You know
knows
what I'm
who
trying to
Floyd
say.
Lawton is. Deadshot.
Deadshot. So he like knocks him out. Somehow he knocks him out, and he puts on Deadshot's outfit and like kind of infiltrates the Suicide Squad, right?
Mhm.
Oh, you
That's
talking
what
the
happened.
animated one?
Yeah, the animated one.
Oh, okay.
And then all of a sudden, when they find out it's him, he's got his whole suit underneath Deadshot's suit. I'm just like, what the heck is going on here?
The animated one he put on the Black Tiger suit.
Either way, it was a lot smaller than his original suit.
It was because there
And
was
he
an
popped out
explosion
of-
that went off, and that the guy, it was a black dude actually.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's why I thought it was Deadshot actually, because it was a black dude. So that being said, what I'm trying to illustrate here is, if the story is not focused on Joker, people are gonna hate it.
Hate it.
Well, it's the
Joker.
same thing with Batman and Superman. Anytime you make something with those people in it, they're going to be heavily criticized. If it's not good, they're going to criticize every aspect of it. If it's not good, you're going to know about it. Their first impression is it's not going to be good until you prove otherwise. Joaquin Phoenix, when they heard he was cast to be Joker, you know how much backlash they got?
Yeah. Yeah.
But now it's like, oh, well, he's a 10. Oh, I'm going to go see that now. He must have did a great job. So it's like they kind of,
Joker hype is real.
the hype wasn't there before the reviews came out.
Critical reception.
Yeah. I would have went to see it anyway just because it's the strength off of the Joker movie.
Yeah.
But when they got, it's a 10 out of 10, now people are like, oh.
Yeah, like
And they got
you
now
gotta
it's
see
my
it. You want either want to
Oscar
prove.
buzz.
Yeah, yeah.
People who don't
People think that
people who
it
don't
could be the first superhero
follow
movie.
comics or anything like that or comic movies are thinking like, I'm gonna go see that. It's Oscar worthy.
But I mean that works for everything. Like it doesn't have
It
to
does.
be
Yeah,
even like a comic
that's
thing.
true. There's
If
like
you
a
get
whole list
rave
of those.
reviews, then some people who like movies or people who just respect these things, like say the film festival people or IGN
Mm-hmm.
or the New York Times, if it's on the bestseller list or whatever, people are gonna check it out because they follow that publication or whatever.
Yeah.
So
And that's the whole point of influencing anyway.
It
pretty
is.
much.
So that was a great job of them kind of getting it out early and building up that hype. So they must have been very confident in the film.
Yeah.
Yeah. In order to put it out early and get those reviews, because not a lot of movies do that. Especially, you don't hear about, I don't know, any comic book movie showing up at a film festival, You know what I mean? And then,
Black Panther.
At a film festival?
yeah,
Black Panther won a lot of awards.
At
yeah,
film festivals? I
not a
don't.
film
Yeah, I don't
festival
think they
though.
put. Yeah, I don't think that was
Like
any film
Sundance
festival.
or something.
Yeah.
That's usually for like indie
Oh, indie
movies.
films.
Yeah,
Black Panther did win a lot of
but
awards. Did
it
that
did
win
win.
an Oscar for anything though? Like costume design or something? It won something,
Did what?
didn't it?
Yeah, it did. I think it was costume design or something
For which movie?
For Black Panther.
for Black Panther.
They won best. Oh crap! Academy Award for best original music. Or sorry, best original score, and Academy Award for best costume design. Academy Award for best production design. There's a whole bunch of NAACP awards and MTV Movie Awards. BET Award for best movie.
BET
But
though.
yes, 2 academies. Or three academies.
But BET though.
Yeah, I mean that was just one that I saw. There's MTV, BET, NAACP, Screen Actors Guild. That was actually a big one.
McDonald's
Choice.
McDonald's Choice Award.
Award.
Yeah.
the
You're
Burger
not
King
going to
Kids
compare a
Club
McDonald's Award to a
BET
Screen Actors Guild.
No, BET Award.
BET, yeah, I'll give you that.
Soul Train Award.
Okay, that's actually gonna do
Probably
it
find that at a thrift store.
for this week's episode of the BBET GamesCast. Oh man! All right, I just want to thank my 2 co-hosts, Superman Jeff. Where can people find you?
So you can find me on Mixer at Superman Jeff 12. You can also find me on Facebook at Superman Jeff Plays. Go ahead and hit that bell at the bottom so that way you get notified when we post new content, whether it's streams you repost or some gameplay from different things that we do or another podcast. But also hit that subscribe button and those likes. Those likes, we feed off of those likes. Yeah. So, unlike Audrey too, we need those. We need those. Every like counts. So definitely get ahead and hit that like button and share it with your friends. We talk about a lot of different.
Subscribe.
Yeah, we talk about a lot of different things, not just games or movies or worldly events. We talk about a little bit and the effect that it has on a lot of the mediums we love. So definitely share that. A lot of people might find commonality in a lot of things we go over.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So Blue, where can people find you?
That was such an abrupt stop. Like I was
Right.
digging everything you said, and then you're like, done.
You got to cut it off. You got to feed them a little bit, and then
Yeah, that's like
pull
almost
it back.
a cliffhanger, but you put a period at the end of the sentence. My name is Blue Bones, BLUB0NES. To this week, you found out I'm afraid of monkeys. You can find me on Mixer, mixer.com/BLUB0. What did you say?
He fears apes.com.
Apes.com/Blue. That's my main page. Mixer.com/BLUB0NESXB as an Xbox. That's normally where you're going to catch me. And you can find me on Facebook at Play with Blue Bone.
Now I'm wondering how you feel about Ape Escape.
It was a social cleansing for a while. No, there's like monkeys are scary, yo. Did
you play Donkey Kong Country?
Heck no. No, I played a little bit when I was younger. I liked monkeys when I was younger.
That's why you don't like to fight DK in Smash Brothers.
Casey, where can they find you?
Oh God. It's Sigma Gears 9. You can find me on all social media under that moniker. You can find my reviews on the Escapist YouTube channel. Just search for the 3-minute reviews. Pretty much half of all the reviews on that little section belong to me. You can watch my weekly streams with my son, Sigma and Son. We do those every Wednesday. When we're not doing those, I do Sigma Solos, which is where I try to stream really hard games and get through those on camera. And I voice my frustrations out to the rest of the audience.
It's a lot of fun, y'all.
The most recent thing I've done is actually with my girlfriend. We played through Man of Medan, which is a horror adventure game. It's in 2 parts. We played through the entire story, but there are multiple endings, so watching our playthrough won't spoil your playthrough because you can make different decisions. So definitely check that out. It was a lot of fun, and it's on the BBET YouTube channel right now. So like Jeff said, hit the BBET YouTube, search for BBET Gaming on YouTube. Subscribe. We need those subscriptions to start monetizing by throwing ads in front of stuff or whatnot. So help us out in that regard. Share that stuff around. Support us the way we try to support you. And that's pretty much going to do it for episode 15. Thanks to everybody who listened. Thanks to my co-host once again. Peace.
Adios.
Concentrate on a nigga while I'm out here trying to get him and forget it. Shaking my head, these niggas that don't speak. Trying to get bread, your niggas that do sleep. At least I'm woke, nigga, I'm a beast, at least I know. Whoa. Trying to get rid of me, but I am the epitome of a city.